In this video, we're going to make this simple craft. This is an easy spider to make. My name is Stevie. This is Stevie's Dad Crafts. Let's get started. What we need for this craft is a 1.5-inch wooden ball, a wire coat hanger, some paint, these are the colors I chose, and some sewing pins. These have different colored balls on the end. I'm going to use white. We also need some wire cutters, some needle nose pliers, and a drill bit with a drill, of course. All right, the first thing I'm doing here is I'm trying to draw out a circle on the bottom of the ball because this is how I'm going to determine where I put the legs. I want to make sure I put the legs all in line with each other. So here's the first leg I'm drawing, and then I'm going to draw another dot for the front leg and another dot for the back leg. And then from here, what I'm going to do is I draw the line straight across so it's pretty even. And I'm doing my best to make sure that the legs are in the same spot on both sides. So that is pretty much what I came up with. They're, for the most part, they are in line with each other and they're spaced out right about the same amount of distance. Right here, I'm just taking a big screw and I'm poking a hole where I drew those little dots. And I call these pilot holes. It's going to be much easier for me to drill a hole into those. So now I'm drilling out the holes. And what I did is I took a drill bit that is about the same width as the coat hanger that I'm going to be using, the wire from the coat hanger. Now I'm just taking a piece of sandpaper to those rough edges where I drilled those holes out. And I'm also going to erase that pencil line that I drew as a guideline for where I'm going to position those legs at. I cut out 6 legs with the coat hanger. Each one is about 1.5 inches long. So I'm not going to show you all 6, but I did take the time to cut out 6 different legs here. Next, I'm putting those legs inside the holes that I drilled. So I'm going to put all 6 legs in, position them out to make sure that I've got them positioned the way I need to. And then from there, I'm going to take my fingers and bend those legs to the position that I really want. Next, I got to fine tune the position of the legs. So I'm positioning them in the exact position that I want. And then I'm going to glue them. So I'm using the Gorilla Glue to glue them in. And from there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually clip off the tips of each one of the legs to make sure it's going to sit flat. That feels pretty steady. I've clipped them all down and giving it the wiggle test, and it's looking good. Next, I've got to decide how I want to draw the face. So I'm going to draw a line down the center of the ball. So that's going to just tell me where the center of the face will be. And then I'm going to draw out the mouth first. So I'm trying to draw like a square or a rectangle mouth because I want it to be able to show its fangs. And then I'm going to draw the eyes, or the position of the eyes. Right here, I'm just drawing some of the fangs or the teeth. This one took me a few tries. I had to erase it a couple times and redraw those teeth in there, but I think it turned out okay. And now I'm drawing the position of the eyes. I kind of want them at the end of the mouth there. And then I'm going to show you a sample of what the eye is going to look like using the sewing pin. I chose the sewing pin with the white head on it. Again, I'm taking the screw to create the pilot holes to pretty much poke a hole so it'll be much easier for me to drill those eyes out. Next, I'm taking it to the drill press and drilling out those eyes. Let's see what the eyes are going to look like. So I'm going to cut off the tips of these sewing pins and I'm going to place them inside the holes and just so we can see what it looks like. I'm not gluing the pins in just yet. I want to paint first. I decided to use this dark blue to paint the spider, and so I'm going to paint his whole body and his legs as well, this dark color blue. I think it's going to go well with the white eyes. At first, I was a little concerned that the paint wasn't going to stick well onto those wire coat hangers because there already is a white paint on those hangers, but it stuck pretty well. I used 2 coats on those legs to make sure, and the paint stuck pretty well. Just finishing up the paint on this spider, and then we'll move on to the next step. After the paint dried, I decided I didn't like that dark blue, so I'm going to use this light blue. When I look back, I think the dark blue might have been okay, but at the time I decided this light blue might look a little bit better. So right here I'm just painting it, going closely around the mouth, and then I've got to redo the whole body and redo the legs. Not a problem. I didn't take too much time to paint it. I just want to make sure I got this the way I really want it. Just finishing up the paint here, getting the rest of the body, and then I'm going to let the paint dry. One last touch up before we start painting the teeth. When I painted the teeth, I had to do 3 different coatings of the paint for the teeth. My brush was so small and fine that it almost kind of painted in small globs. So I had to smooth that out. I'm not going to show you the whole 3 layers that I did, but it turned out okay. Next, I had to paint the black between the teeth. And that was a little bit of a chore because I didn't have a lot of space to work with, but I was patient, and I think I did a pretty decent job. The final part for the mouth was painting red lips. So I had to be patient here and take my time and paint a red line around the perimeter of the mouth. Now let's take another look at what this is going to look like with the eyes that it's going to have. We're almost done with this project, but the next step is to paint gloss on this. I always like to put at least 1 layer of gloss. In most cases, I do put 2 layers. It adds protection to the paint, and it also makes the piece look very shiny. Once the gloss is dry, that's when we can glue the eyes in. I'm using Gorilla Glue to glue these eyes in, and so I take the very tip of the pin, dip it in the Gorilla Glue, then I push it into those holes that I drilled earlier. Next, I'm taking a 1/8 of an inch dowel, dipping it into my black paint, and just dotting those white pins so that they look like pupils. There's the finished craft. I really hope you enjoyed watching this. Please subscribe and like this video, make a comment. I have a lot of great ideas I'd like to share with everybody, and I can only do that by growing this channel. So subscribe, tune in next time for the next craft. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you like it. And hey, make a comment. What do you want to see next? I'm Stevie.